Hey, Coach, man, what time is it?
Oh, Slim, you know what time it is. 6 o'clock, straight up and down. It's HomeSpun Sports with Coach John Montgomery. Sports talk with a twist of down-home wisdom. Welcome, 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 welcome. We are so glad you have tuned in once again to HomeSpun Sports. It's sports talk with a twist of down-home wisdom. I'm your host, John W. Montgomery II, a.k.a. John 2. They call me the coach. I'm right here in H-Town, Houston, Texas. Way up there in Oklahoma City, my show enough ride or die. The last P in the shell, my baby boy. What's up, Slim?
Fine as wine, Coach. How you doing?
Oh, man, Slim, let me tell you, man. I am so excited about show number 29 and our very, very special guest. You know, Slim, you've often heard that expression, hard work beat talent when talent don't work hard.
Yes, sir.
And every now and then, though, Mildred, you will have that exceptional athlete that has great talent and an even greater work ethic. And that is our very special guest for show number 29. I met this gentleman as a freshman, 1987, at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. And Slim, just a model character. He could play, but more than that, his work ethic and his toughness. Slim, he played 16 years in the National Football League with the Washington Redskins, Cleveland Browns, Jacksonville Jaguars, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, where he won a Super Bowl, San Diego Chargers, Houston, and then back to the Redskins, where he ended his career. 883 catches for 11,373 yards. Slim, he is number 35 on the all-time receiving list in the history of the National Football League. And more than that, Slim, this guy is a first-class man's man. Ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome our very, very special guest, my showing up ride or die, Keenan McCardell.
What's going on, Coach? What's going on, Slim?
What's going on with you, Coach? How you doing?
I'm great. I'm happy to be here, man. Coach, you make me sound really good, boy. I might get up and start dancing the way you made me sound.
Keenan, man, listen, bro. You are that hard work beat talent and talent to work on. Yeah. We heard that. But then when you get that guy that can play, that's the first on the field, the last to leave. When you first in the weight room, last to leave. Tough as a $2 steak. Gonna work. You know, my daddy used to always say, Tom McCann's shoe. I'm dating myself, Slim. Tom McCann's back in the day, them with the cheap shoes. My dad used to always say, a Tom McCann will shine just as bright as a Stacey Adams. You just got to rub it a little longer.
Hey, I've heard of Tom McCann before. I know what they are.
You got Keenan, man, and that was you. Man, and I got to be quite frank. I'm going to keep it real. When you came to Nevada, Las Vegas, as a freshman in 1987, anybody tell me, said that guy will get 2 Super Bowl rings? He will be number 35 all-time receiver in terms of catches and yards per on catches. 11,000 yards worth of catches. If anybody said that guy's gonna be the one, I would go, whoa, wait a minute now. But on the other side of the coin, Keenan, I'm not surprised. I am not surprised. And man, I have to tip my cap to you, bro, because you put it out there. Practice after practice, game after game. You put it out there.
You know what? You giving me all the accolades, but I have to credit some of that to you, because when you came there in 1987, you know, the big word was that you was coming there to get Ickey Woods over the hump so he can get to the pros. But me being a little smarter than the average bear, I started to listen to what you was telling Ickey. And I started to understand what it was going to take to get there. You was telling him what he had to do to make it over the hump. This is the question marks that everybody had about your game. And I kind of looked at myself and like, you know, how do I be where Ickey is and have a chance to ever play in the National Football League, which was my dream. So I would listen to you all the time, you know, and mess with, you know, he always, you know, it's hard, but it's fair. You know, it's kind of the same type of coaching that I got in high school from one of my good coaches, Eldon Conger, you know, and a couple other coaches. They coached me the same way. So when I was listening to you, I was hearing my past coaches back in Houston, and I just gravitated to you. Probably never knew it, but I gravitated to listening to you and understanding the mindset, the mental mindset that you had to have to be successful.
Well, Keenan, all of the stories that you had, I mean, 17 years in the National Football League, you went from Houston Waltrip High School to the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. Tell us about your journey.
Man, my journey was a journey that almost didn't happen, you know, because I was waiting on basketball. I was in, you know, football season came around. We had a really good year. We lost the second round of the playoffs, and we were sitting there. Everybody, all my friends were getting their offers. I mean, we probably had about 19 guys get scholarship offers. You know, I had some people that were like, wait till the last second, wait to the end. We got a couple other guys. So I just kind of put my head down and went into basketball. And I was really having a good year in basketball. And I kind of pushed football to a side. And I was like, well, I'm gonna get a shot to play some basketball. Mm-hmm. Basketball season wasn't over. We were in the playoffs, and Coach Williams came to Waltrip to tell Coach Barron that he needed a wide receiver. And Coach Barron said, I got a wide receiver for you. He's a really good athlete, and he's playing basketball now. Uh-huh. And they went in the office, and he watched the film. He told Coach Barron that he wanted to offer me his last scholarship, you know, and I'm still playing basketball, not knowing after basketball practice, I come in, Coach Barron calls me in and said, hey, I got somebody that wants to give you a scholarship. I know you want to play football, but at that time, my mind was on basketball. And I was like, well, let me see let me take it home to my dad and see what's going on and see how he feels. You know, not knowing that, I mean, to myself, I'm happy. Yeah. I'm feeling myself in basketball. I thought I was going to be that guy, but I took it home. My dad was like, hey, you know, you don't have to go to Vegas. You know, I'm willing to pay for you to go to any school in the state of Texas. I kind of think he wanted me to go to his alma mater, Prairie View, but you know, I was sitting there like, you know, I really want to go to University of Texas because I was a Longhorn fan from little, but they didn't offer. I got a scholarship from UNLV, and I said, let me think about it, Dad. I walked in the room. It didn't take but a second. I hit that door and turned right back around and said, hey, I'm going to Las Vegas, Dad. I got a free scholarship. You ain't got to pay for school. It didn't take but a second. I walked in my door. I said, you know what? Let me turn back around and let's do this right.
Yeah.
I mean, and the rest, you know, once I got there, man, I went to Vegas sight unseen, even though I had been there with my family before when I was younger, but I didn't take a visit. I was all about business. When I left Houston, to go to UNLV, I was about my business of
you were. Lord knows you were.
How am I going to take the next step to fulfill my dream of playing in the National Football League? It was all business for me. It wasn't no playing around. I don't need to party. I don't need to do this. I had a laser-like focus on what I wanted to do.
No, you ain't never lied about that. In my 33 years of coaching, you are one of the most purpose-driven athletes I've ever been around.
Thank you.
And it ain't, you know, at the end of the day, Keenan, like I said, it ain't no surprise that you've accomplished what you've done. Ain't no question about it, man. No question.
Keenan, your persistence is kind of like, it's amazing how focused that you've remained even in Las Vegas. And like Dad said, you know, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. Getting in the league is one thing, but staying there is a whole nother animal. What's your secret? Because 17 years, you obviously did something right.
It wasn't a easy road for me at the beginning. You know, I was on injured reserve my rookie year when we won the Super Bowl in Washington. Got a chance to really learn how to play football at the national at that level. You know, I was taught by three of the most amazing receivers that I've ever been around. That's Art Monk, Gary Clark, and Ricky Sanders. I mean, they're great friends of mine, and I was like a sponge. I was trying to figure it out because I wanted to be successful just like those guys, because I knew I could play football. I never just overstepped my bounds of like, oh, I'm better than you guys. But I knew in my heart that I could play, and I could play with these guys. But I'm gonna learn some more so I could be just as good as them or even better. So I took it that first year, and I was a sponge all day, every day. Sometimes they probably was telling me to go home, leave my house, you know, but I was there because I needed to know. I needed to see. I saw things that I had never seen before as a kid, things that they had, things that they did. They introduced me to golf. They introduced me to a lot of things that I've never been afforded to do, and it was a blessing for me. So I just kind of learned and kept learning. And then, you know, when this Plan B free agency back in the day had a chance, I had a chance to stay in Washington. They wanted me to stay, but I knew I could play in this league. After being around these guys, practicing against Darryl Green and all these guys, going at these guys every week, man, I knew I could play. So I took that leap of faith to go to Cleveland. I mean, and it's been a great decision for me ever since. I mean, I took the leap of faith, and when I got to Cleveland, like Slim, you asked me, when did I feel comfortable? When I felt comfortable is when I had a chance to really know that I was going to have a chance to make a team. Not saying I didn't have a chance to make the team in Washington, but it was a young group of receivers, so I was a young guy too. So I had a little more experience. I had a year experience than some of the rookies that came in. So I was teaching them that fact. You know, I was trying to teach them, help them out, and understand the offense, this, that, and the other, because I had been around some guys that taught me how to prepare, taught me the offense, how to be a pro. And you know, that Washington team, all those guys could have been like, they were my dads. They was 29, 30, 32, you know, Joe Jacoby. I mean, those Monty Coleman. I had Darryl Green. It was just I had some vets that taught me how to be a pro.
Keenan, you played with Joe Jacoby?
Yes.
You know Joe was on our show.
He was. I saw it. Yeah. So that's funny, huh? I was on look. He's standing there with a gray beard, and I'm a young dude. I'm like, man, this old dude's still playing. But he was kicking butt. And I was like, I want to be like those guys. Those guys played till they were 30, 34s, you know, and stuff like that. So that kind of put that picture in my mind of where I wanted to be. So I went to Cleveland, you know, first year. I had a really good camp, got hurt right at the end of camp. It's a business. You get hurt at the end of camp, they got to keep somebody that's healthy. You got to be available. I wasn't available, so I got cut. Fortunate enough, I had a really good camp. Coach Belichick wanted to put me on practice squad. So I was on practice squad that year, came back the next year. He kept me on practice squad the second year. A little pissed off. I took it out there. He'll tell you I took it out every week on his defense. Every week on his defense. Naturally. I made him know that I was upset. I was happy to be there, but I wasn't happy to be sitting on the sideline on the practice squad.
On the practice squad, because you knew you were better than that.
Yes, I knew I was. I knew I could play.
Keenan, I got to ask you this, man, because you've lived the dream, man. You don't play in the NFL, but to be a part of a Super Bowl and to have a ring. I know you got a ring with Washington, but you was on practice. You were developmental squad for that one.
Basically, yep.
But Keenan, you were a pivotal player in that 2003 team when John Gruden comes over, takes Tony Dungy's team. Ain't no secret. He took his team, his talent, added a little offensive spice to it. But Keenan, you were a pivotal player in that Super Bowl win over the Raiders. Man, tell us about that, Keenan.
Man, it was unbelievable. You know, first and foremost, I wasn't really just by being in the first Super Bowl in Washington, the stage wasn't like whoa. It was just another game to me because I had seen it before, and just getting there. You know, I can remember that week of football of the Super Bowl. I didn't turn my television on at all. The whole week, I didn't turn my television on at all the whole week. People don't believe it, but I didn't because every day you was at the media about an hour and 15 minutes. You know, and I was sitting there like, I was like, why should I turn my television on? I get it all right here. So it made me be a little bit more focused on what was at hand. And you know, we came out, we understood that, you know, we were all about defense. Everybody thought we were all about defense.
Derrick Brooks, Warren Sapp.
That's what everybody knew. But we hit our stride on the offensive side of the ball probably in the playoffs. Everybody started to click. We started to understand John's offense. It was a new offense for us, and it just was not coming early. Everybody was kind of off at the beginning of the year, but towards the end of the year and in the playoffs, we started hitting our stride. And even in the Super Bowl, we hit our stride. We was running the ball. We was throwing the ball. You know, I was just happy to be a part of a great group of guys. That's one thing I can say. That was a great group of guys that had a purpose from day one of what we wanted to do. The day I signed, you know, Derrick Brooks would tell me this all the time. He was one of the key components of what made us click to get to the Super Bowl. And I was just happy to be a part of those guys because we always scrimmaged those guys in Jacksonville, a joint scrimmage. And I love those guys because I love watching them play. And now I'm on their team. I was going to do everything I could on the offensive side of the ball to get it right so we could win. And, I mean, we were so driven from training camp through the season. John didn't have to really police that team because we policed that team. If you weren't doing it right, we got it right. You either get it right or get out, you know, and that was something that we did. You know, like they always say, you have some inner fighting and family stuff, but guess what? We handled it ourselves before it even got out, stuff like that. That was something that was a special part of that team that what happened in our locker room stayed in our locker room, and it didn't even matter because we were going to get it right. At the end of the day, we loved each other. I mean, to this day, we can call every one of our teammates, and it's like we've been there just back in 2002, loving on each other, having fun, and laughing in the locker room.
Man, it was a great team, man. And let me tell you something, man. You guys played great defense and completed. Of course, John Gruden knew the Raiders playbook inside out.
He did. He knew all the audibles.
But you guys, man, that was a special. All right. Before we let you get out of here, Keenan, and we sure appreciate you coming on the show. You coached. Now you're on your second NFL team coaching.
My third.
You're your third. Okay.
Yes.
Well, with the Vikings, finished 8-9 in the 2021 season, second in your division, re-upped Kirk Cousins, Dalvin Cook, first-year head football coach Kevin O'Connell.
Yep.
What we got to do, last playoff appearance 2019, so we got to get back. What we got to do, and oh, by the way, I do know Aaron Rodgers, $50 million. He gonna be in Green Bay a minute. So what we got to do?
I mean, the road goes through Green Bay as long as he's there, right? I mean, and we have to understand that that every week, starting from this point on out, on April 11th, when we hit our OTAs and stuff like that, we got to have a purpose. We have to have purpose to first, as I always say, the first things first. The purpose is just to get in. Okay. We got to take one step at a time. I mean, we can't just say, well, we're going to take the crown from these guys. We got to get in. But the really first thing is that we got to come together as a team and understand where we are. How do we get where we need to be? You know, and that's just taking one day at a time, understanding that each day you go out there, you got to get better. You cannot let a day go by that you don't get better.
Keenan, when you look for a wide receiver, I mean, you are the classic overachiever that could play. So when you're looking for a wide receiver, what are the qualities you look for? Somebody watching our show, a young wide receiver has aspirations playing National Football League. Tell that kid, what do you got to do what you did?
You got to outwork the next man first. You got to outwork the next man. If you don't outwork the next man, it ain't going to matter. You got to have a hard work ethic and understand that every time you're out there, you're trying to better yourself. I mean, work on your weaknesses as much as you work on everything that everybody tells you you're good at. I hate the fact that everybody only wants to work on one thing, you know, that they're good at. You got to work on your weaknesses, you know. I that's one of the things that I look for, a guy that's a hard worker. He's explosive. He's a dynamic route runner. He's a smart football player. He understands how to play the game. And that goes into just not knowing the plays, this, that, and the other. How you play the game. Every time you step on that grass means something. Don't lay on my field, because that grass is what's going to pay you.
Okay.
Don't disrespect my field by laying on my field. Respect my field by going out and giving it all. You should leave all that sweat on that grass, because that's what it's all about. Because when you're out on that grass, it's about working. It's about what can I do to make me better, and if I make myself better, I'm gonna make my team better. I mean,
no doubt.
I think guys forget that, you know, and I think you know, I look for guys that got that it factor, that wants it in the moment when nobody wants it. You know, here's the ball, coach. Throw me the ball. I got you. Just put it in my hands. I got you. Mm-hmm. It don't matter what they playing, coach. I'm gonna be open for you.
I hear you.
You know,
I hear you. And Keenan, man, and the other thing, and you said it. How well do you play away from the rock?
Yes, and that starts in practice, though. You know,
yes, it does. I declare it does
all the time. I've been around some good ones, and probably a person that I can lean on a little bit and say that I changed his work ethic in practice is Stephon Diggs. I remember when I went to Maryland the first year, you know, had a lot of
That's
talent.
right. You coached the wideouts at Maryland.
Yes, everybody was talking about, you know, how talented he is. You know, I had watched some film and I was like, it don't mean nothing to him. I said, hey, well, what you talking about? I'm watching practice and he doesn't do anything in practice. That's why in the game he plays up and down, this, that, and the other. And me and him had a talk. And I said, I'm going to coach you like you're in the pros. And
okay.
I'm going to tell you every day if I cut you, if you cut or not. Every day.
All right.
He'll tell you, I say, you're cut. You good. You had a hell of a day. And you all right. You still might be here. And that carried over with him because I get a chance to watch some of his old Viking practice film.
Yeah.
He practices his butt off. He runs through everything, backside routes, blocking, his own routes. He is full speed, 100 miles an hour all the time. So to say that's what it takes, because when you do it that way in practice, it's easier in the game.
Always.
And I'm fortunate enough right now with a group of guys in Minnesota that take that same mindset. You know, Adam Thielen, Justin Jefferson, KJ Osborne, Amir Marset. You know, we got guys that love to play the game, and it's great to have two guys that are your leaders in your room that practice like that, and it's just a standard that we set. And if you set that standard, not just at the receiver position, but at every position, your team can only get better. I mean, I think guys practice for you because they know you care. They know you want them to be the very best. You know, you working on things that they don't see. You know, they might say, I got it, coach, but then you show them and then they like, dang, he right. Now they come out the next day and they want to work on it. So I think, you know, when you get that type of respect from your players, that's a sign of respect from your players, and it makes a coach feel so good to see guys that you don't have to say, hey, get your butt in gear, let's go, we need it, you know, or if they having a down day, you know how to push that button one time and just say, hey, I need this from you, and they dig deep and see it and they get it, and then they come back say, I got you, coach, I'm good from here on out.
Hey, well, Keenan, ain't no question, my brother, you have taken it from the field in college, you've taken it to the National Football League, and you're doing it in the NFL, and I have no doubt the wide receivers for the Minnesota Vikings going to be well coached. Man, listen, bro, we do appreciate it. Keenan, I'm pulling for you, man. You know I'm pulling and praying for you.
I know you are. Hey, man, I thank you, man. I'm supporting your. I love supporting your everything you do, man. You've been you don't even know it, boy. You've been a blessing to me, and you probably didn't even know it, but I thank you. I want to tell you I thank you. God rest his soul. I thank Coach Nunley too, because
Wayne, man, Wayne Nunley, no question.
Without that opportunity from Coach Nunley, I wouldn't be where I am right now.
No question. No question. All the best to you, my brother. We appreciate you coming on, man.
Thank you so much for being on the show, man.
Slim, I know you ain't getting no nothing to say because Dad was saying everything, Coach was saying everything, but hey, man, I love to come back on anytime, man.
Well, we gonna get you back on. No question.
I love it.
We gonna
take care, Keenan. All right.
Take care, Keenan.
Take care.
Thanks, man.
Later.
Wow.
A 17-year resume.
Man, what a guy. What a guy.
Come on.
What a guy. Man. A first-class man and one hell of a football player.
Oh, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, it's time. Slim's Pickens. Go ahead, bro.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
The 2021 Southwestern Athletic Conference champions in football, the Jackson State Tigers, have released their schedule for the 2022 football season. And it reads as follows. September 4th, Florida A&M, 9-3 in the 2021 football season. September 10th, Tennessee State, 5-6 in the 2021 athletic season. September 17th, Grambling State, 4-7 in 2021. September 24th, Mississippi Valley State, 4-7 in 2021. October 8th, Alabama State, 5-6 in 2021. Bethune-Cookman, October 15th, 0-9 in 2021. October 22nd, Campbell University, 3-8 in 2021. October 29th, Southern University, 4-7 in 2021. November 5th, Texas Southern, 3-8 in 2021. November 12th, Alabama A&M, 7-3 in 2021. And November 19th, Alcorn State, 6-5 in 2021. Yo, Coach Prime, your 2022 football schedule is composed of 11 opponents with 52 wins and 84 losses. If you go through your 2022 football schedule like a hot knife through butter, winning 9 in a row before losing 31-10 to a 6-5 South Carolina State team in the Celebration Bowl, understand that last season, while you were winning, last season in 2021, while you were winning 38-16 on September 11th against Tennessee State, South Carolina State was losing to Clemson 49-3. And the following weekend, when you were losing to Louisiana Monroe 12-7, South Carolina State played New Mexico State down to the wire before unfortunately losing 43-35. Now, just in case you guys happen to meet up again in this year's Celebration Bowl, understand that South Carolina State opens the season with Central Florida. And then on October the 1st, they take on the University of South Carolina Gamecocks. Iron sharpens iron, Coach Prime. I did not write that. In the history of the NFL, there have only been 10 quarterbacks drafted out of the HBCU. Look for all that to change with Akil Glass out of Alabama A&M. At 6'4", 230 pounds, Akil Glass has pocket presence and has over 5 games has 5 games of 400 yards passing. First name Akil, last name Glass. Stay tuned, sports fans. And that's Slim Spickens.
That's spot on, my brother. That's spot on. Hell of a job. You know, Mildred, I'm glad you brought that up about prime time and the Jackson State football schedule for 2022.
Mm-hmm.
Slim, there are 3 teams on that schedule that head coaches got fired for losing. It's a new guy at Grambling because Broderick Forbes couldn't get it done. Hugh Jackson's there. There's a new guy at Alabama State because Don Hill-Ely couldn't get it done. Eddie Robinson. Eric Dooley gone back to Southern from Prairie View because that interim guy couldn't get it done. So it's 3 new head coaches in the SWAC that new on the job because of losing.
Mm-hmm.
Any way you cut it up, Slim, the SWAC schedule, SWAC football, soft as drugstore cotton.
Very.
Willie Simmons down at Florida A&M does a hell of a job. That's one team. Coach McNair at Alcorn State does a hell of a job. How weak is the SWAC? In the SWAC championship game, when Jackson State rolled up in the SWAC championship game, they met a Prairie View A&M team that played them in the SWAC championship game that rolled up in there with a 4-game losing streak. Okay?
Yeah.
And as you said, Mildred, iron sharpens iron. This year, Buddy Pugh and his South Carolina State Bulldogs opened the season with American Conference, and that's a hell of a tough league. And that boy Gus Malzahn with those Central Florida Knights, that's a good football team. Central Florida got good football players year in, year out. That's a tough Division I football team. And then South Carolina State takes on the Gamecocks. Slim, that's a SEC East opponent.
Yeah.
Okay? All right, Dion. Now, you get back to the Celebration Bowl, be careful what you ask for. Because them guys from South Carolina State been battle tested. And all you've been playing, you said it, is that SWAC schedule. Akil Glass, man. I'm glad you brought him up, Slim.
So, Coach, I did mention
Akil Glass.
Akil Glass, Coach. Now, to you, in your opinion, who is the best HBCU quarterback to come and be a part of the National Football League?
Slim, I tell you what, man, I'm going to go with Shaq Harris. James Shaq Harris.
James
Monroe,
Shaq Harris.
Louisiana.
Okay.
Grambling State University. Slim.
Yes, sir.
Shaq Harris, drafted by the Buffalo Bills in 1969, became the first African-American quarterback to start a game in the National Football League. In 1974, Shaq Harris was the first African-American quarterback to win a playoff game in the National Football League. Shaq Harris was also made the Pro Bowl in 1974 and was the Pro Bowl game MVP in 1974. He had worked in the front office with Jacksonville, Detroit, and the Baltimore Ravens, and just a first-class guy. Grambling State University's own Shaq Harris. Slim, you know, that Shaq, his name is James Harris. We've all known him as Shaq.
Shaq, yeah. Where'd that come from?
I'm glad you asked. His father was a Baptist minister and nicknamed him Meshach for the three Hebrew boys, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Now, here's what I take from that, Slim. Could it be that his daddy saw into the future and knew what his son was going to be in the NFL because he was a black man playing quarterback in the NFL in the 60s and the 70s? His dad saw he was going to be in the fire.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah. But yes, Slim. So let me ask you.
Yeah.
Who's your all-time HBCU quarterback drafted in the NFL?
Another former Gramblinite and your former boss, Doug Williams.
Douglas Lee.
Douglas Lee Williams, yes, sir. For two reasons, Coach.
That's a good pick.
Personally, because when he was the head coach, when you guys coached together and won the SWAC championship, Coach Williams always made sure that when my mom and I would attend the games, we would always sit at the tables with him during the team dinners. She'd always be in the press box watching the games. I'd always be on the sidelines with you. We'd always have the nicest stuff. He really made us feel a part of the family. Like
he did, man.
We felt real welcome.
I want to thank you, Bill.
Other than that, Super Bowl 22 MVP, 88 career game starts, 2,507 pass attempts on 1,240 pass completions with a 69.4 career rating and a part of the College Football Hall of Fame.
Yeah, no question. A Heisman Trophy finalist and a first-class guy.
And a first-class man.
Yeah, yes, no question. No question. So that's a hell of a job, man. That's a hell of a job.
Now, Coach, continuing with the quarterback in the NFL news. In the NFL, Coach, Deshaun Watson, his press conference. What's your take on that?
Wow,
I know you thought.
I tell you, man, that press conference was a somber affair. If you, it was like a morgue, Slim. It was, but it had to be.
Yeah, it wasn't really a happy occasion.
And in the first place, the Haslam family should have been there. Okay.
Yes.
Dee and her husband should have been there. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought that Jerry Brown, that GM, and Kevin Stefanski handled that situation very carefully. Slim, that's a delicate situation. We're talking about the charges that are alleged. I get it, they're alleged. Okay. Mm-hmm. In this civil suit against women and assaulting women. That's serious business. You don't toy around with that. No. And while we know that he's not going to be indicted, I thought it was very interesting, though, that the Haslams' comment when they said, we're going to let the justice system decide this. Yeah.
Coach, you know what I thought was interesting? I thought it was interesting when they gave Deshaun Watson $230 million over 5 years. You don't give a guilty man $230 million over 5 years.
Fully guaranteed.
Fully guaranteed.
And that leads back to what I'm saying, Slim. See, let me tell you something. When the Haslam family said, we're going to let the justice system decide. Well, the justice system, history has showed that if you got enough money, you can work the justice system. Okay?
Ask OJ.
Ask OJ. Thank you. Ask OJ Simpson. If you got enough money, you can work the justice system. And so, Snell, here's the thing: 230 million over 5 years has declared him
not guilty. Not guilty. Not guilty.
Hey, not guilty.
Now, Coach, in exchange, the Houston Texans have the 3rd and the 13th pick in this year's draft. A first round pick in 2023, a first round pick in 2024, 4th round pick in 2022, a 3rd rounder in 2023, and a 4th rounder in 2024 is the exchange for Deshaun Watson.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now,
and you don't give up all that unless
for a guilty man.
Unless that's the legal system.
That's the legal system.
Exactly. That's the legal
now, Coach,
system.
Tyreek Hill traded from the Chiefs to the Miami Dolphins. What's your take on that?
Well, Tyreek Hill had never missed his position. He let them know, if you don't pay me, make me the highest paid wide receiver, I'm gonna set out for 2022. He threatened to do that. They saw that coming. Okay. Mm-hmm. The ball got rolling when they paid Christian Kirk too much money to go from Arizona to Jacksonville.
Then Devontae Adams just poured gasoline on the fire.
And then the gasoline got thrown on the fire slam when Devontae Adams got $140 million over 5 years. Okay? Now you got Tyreek Hill sitting there going, okay, all right, now
keep playing, you go to.
Pay me. So, and that's one way to look at it. On the other side of the coin, Slim, Kansas City, if you go back, and when we had Icky Woods on the show, that was the night Cincinnati clinched the AFC North. Yeah. Kansas City couldn't get off the field against them that night.
Nope.
Come back to the AFC Championship, Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals whooped them again. Now, Kansas City could not compete with the elite teams in the AFC unless they fix that defense. And they had one player that they could get multiple picks for. And it's showing the hell wasn't going to be. He wasn't trading Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, that ain't happening. Nope.
That ain't happening. So after that, you got one player who you can get numerous picks from. And that's the one that they shipped off. No question.
Got 52.535 at signing, Coach, when he did.
Yeah.
Now Kansas City got
$72 million fully guaranteed.
And now Kansas City got 12 picks, 2 in the first round, 2 in the second round, and 2 in the third round. They also have the 29th, 30th, 50th, 62nd, 103rd, and the 25th pick in the draft.
Slim, you're spot on correct. 12 picks fixes a number of ills, okay? Here's the thing, Slim. They're going to be different, okay? It's still going to be good.
Still gonna be
Listen, you got Patrick Mahomes, you still going to be good.
How bad can you get?
It's like, Slim, it's like good jambalaya, good gumbo.
Okay.
Both of them good.
Yeah.
They taste a little different. They're going to Andy Reid is too good a coach. He will serve that thing up. They're still going to be good. They're going to be different.
Yeah.
But they got to fix that defense. And they will now.
You know who this really shines a light on, Coach? Tua Tagovailoa.
Ooh, you said a word then, dog.
Because now, Coach, it's like Tua has no excuses. I mean, they got the best left tackle in free agency in Teron Armstead. Like we just said, they just acquired Tyreek Hill. They got Jalen Waddle. They got Chase Edmonds.
They got Chase Edmonds. They got that boy Mozart from the running back Raheem, from the 49ers. Yeah. Slim. They got Cedric Wilson from Dallas. He can play. Listen, there ain't no excuse. And I tell you what, Slim. And they also have a $6.5 million insurance policy
as a backup. As a backup, Coach. Teddy Bridgewater, you don't pay a backup $6.5 million just to ride the pine.
Slim,
It's insurance.
You don't pay $6.5 million in backup unless you absolutely positively ain't sure.
Yeah.
Ain't sure of
it's
what
like
you got.
Like we talked about in our meetings. I'm gonna give it till about mid-October before it's Teddy Bridgewater's team.
I believe you about right on that. Yeah. By mid-October, Teddy Bridgewater gonna be starting. Because understand this before we move on. The first thing that ran Brian Flores afoul with the Miami Dolphins organization.
Yep.
When Brian Flores made it clear we can't win with Tua Tagovailoa. That was the first thing. That was the genesis of his trouble with the front office with Miami. Brian Flores.
Yep.
Yeah. No question. No question.
Now it's two teams to watch, Coach, with this quarterback carousel as we wind through the end of free agency. San Francisco and Green Bay.
It is. It is, Slim. And let me tell you, man, I truly believe that this quarterback movement is going in free agency is going to define the draft. And here's why I say that. If you're sitting there and you're San Francisco and you gave up 3 first-round picks to take Trey Lance, okay? And the 49ers have promised Trey Lance he would be the guy in 2022. They promised him that, but you still got Jimmy Garoppolo there.
He's still there, Coach. He's still on the roster.
Now, but and here's what you know about Jimmy Garoppolo. You know he can take you to the NFC Championship.
He takes you to the Super Bowl.
He did that in 2021. You know he can take you to the Super Bowl. He did that in 2020. Okay?
Yep.
Now, the other team that's sitting there with an unknown factor that's playing to their advantage is Green Bay.
Yep.
They're sitting there with a backup quarterback in Jordan Love.
Yep.
23 years old.
Sure.
That you took with the 26th pick in 2020 in the first round. Mm-hmm. Well, Slim, and here's the thing, the unknown factor works in Jordan Love's favor. Mm-hmm. Because is he a player? Is he a miss? Is he a player? Is he a miss? We don't know that yet. He been sitting behind Aaron Rodgers. We don't know that yet. Now, as opposed to what's in Cleveland.
I ain't taking Baker. Ain't nobody taking Baker.
Why? We know what we got.
Because we know what we get with Baker.
Hey, Slim, we know what we got in Baker Mayfield.
Yep.
Baker Mayfield is a C+, B-
at best.
That's what he is. And for 3 years we've seen his act, and that's why he's unemployed still. So Slim, Atlanta, Matt Ryan.
Matt Ryan is Hall of Famer.
Matt Ryan gone in Indianapolis.
He's gone. Right. Atlanta needs a quarterback.
Seattle.
Russell Wilson's gone to Denver. They
gone to Denver. Now, people, Slim, Pete Carroll had Russell Wilson. Slim, people that drive Cadillacs, they don't go back to Toyotas and Chevrolets.
No, Coach, they don't.
Okay. Do that. Okay. So you can squelch all that talk about Baker Mayfield. Okay.
Yeah.
Pete Carroll looking for something similar to what he had, Slim. Mm-hmm. Okay. Slim, in Atlanta, Matt Ryan is going to be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Matty Ice.
Okay, so now he's gone. Atlanta need a quarterback. Mm-hmm. People that drive Mercedes, okay, they don't go back to Hondas and Hyundais. Okay, and I sell Hyundais, and it's a good car, but it ain't no Mercedes. Okay, it ain't no Mercedes. So understand this: the best thing Baker Mayfield should do, better make Baker Mayfield, if he's smart, will pray that the Green Bay Packer organization trade Jordan Love, and he can sit back for a year and redshirt and learn how to be a pro quarterback under one of the greatest of all time, Aaron Rodgers. Slim, just like Mitch Trubisky did when he went to Buffalo and sat under Josh Allen. No question.
Exactly. Coach, look, It was a pleasure being in the studio with you again.
Man, I had a ball, man.
You brought another baby back in from UNLV like Icky Woods, and it was a pleasure having him on the show today.
Man, thank you, Keenan. We appreciate you, man.
Tell Mom I love her, all right?
I will, bro. Give my best to everybody in good old Oklahoma City. No question.
I will.
Uh-huh. And finally, I was born by the river in a little tent. Oh, and just like the river, I've been running ever since and passing. How ironic that the man who sang "A Change Is Gonna Come," the late, great Sam Cooke, was murdered because he was young, gifted, intelligent, wealthy, black, and determined to run his own destiny. And just like Deshaun Watson, who has 22 cases of alleged assault to women, well, Sam Cooke had a chink in his armor. He liked alcohol, fast cars, and women. And well, they knew it. Apparently, Deshaun Watson's got a chink in his armor. He likes massage parlors. And don't think for 1 minute that the Houston Texans did not know it. But it never was an issue until he decided, I'm going to decide where I want to play. And no, they didn't murder him. They tried their best to discredit him. They tried their best to strip him of his honor. But I was so proud of how he stood there and faced that camera and responded intelligently with courage. And now he got $230 million fully guaranteed over 5 years. And Cleveland, you're blessed because a change is now going to come. And hey, that's how I see it. 6 o'clock, straight up and down.
I know it will, Coach.
I know it will.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode of HomeSpun Sports. The home sports talk with a twist.
With a twist.
Up, down, home, wisdom. Thank you so much to Mr. Keenan McCardell for being a part of this week's episode, our special guest for HomeSpun Sports 29. We appreciate you so much for being a part of us today. We look forward to a long and healthy relationship with you in the future. Make sure you guys catch this episode not only on YouTube, but on Spotify and iHeartRadio for your listening and your viewing pleasure. Hey, Coach.
Yeah, man.
Go ahead and get up out of here like we came, bro.
Bro, you said it once again. What he said.